Welcome back, BTL fans. We're back, still getting ready for Game 2 here. Gonna need a little bit more time to get that champ select up on the stream here, but I thought we'd take a little bit of time to take a look at the player of the game here in this last one. Chandler Clark on the Vayne went off 9-2 and 5 before that last game. His stats were okay. He had 26 games played. He had a 50% win rate on the Vayne, but definitely making a statement here in game number 1, daring the side of Global to ban that pick away from him, as he was extremely dominant. He was getting pushed in quite a bit during the laning phase by the Ezreal Soraka there, but he was able to come back extremely strong as we moved into the mid portion of the game there, able to claim multiple teamfight wins for the squad, and they were able to assert control over the neutral portions of the map and force out an early surrender from their opponents, which is, something rarely seen, even in these amateur leagues. Forcing out the surrender does seem to indicate, potentially some fairly severe mental damage being inflicted. So, we'll see if the side of Glacial Global are able to bounce back for our second game here tonight. Again, they will need to win 2 in a row if they want to take the win here in the match overall. But let's go back to the draft overall as a whole from that first game there. I do think the Shen was pretty key for the side of Mingos. It was a takeaway, as we already mentioned, from the side of Global, but it also did a great job of enabling that Vayne to play aggressively and to, take those risks, knowing that she had that Shen stand united right behind her. So very, very key, I think, for Mingos was that Shen first pick. I would not be surprised if Global either choose blue side, rotate over to blue side, and try and pick that up as first pick for themselves, or if they just want to ban it away here for our second game. I also, the Jarvan and the Alistar both worked extremely well with the Vayne. There was kind of like a jungle AD support death squad that was just roaming around the map and invading the global jungle, making it impossible for them to really play the game. So definitely a strong composition here from Mingos in game number 1. I don't hate the composition from Global either. I think they did have a reasonable composition that they were able to draft for themselves, but it was just the Jarvan. It was the side of Mingos getting the better of them in that first game. But we are into champion select for game number 2 here, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get right into it. Let's see what these two teams are bringing to the table here for our second match. Looks like Annie is going to be taken out by Globals. The squads have swapped sides. So Global is going to be taking up positions on the blue. Mingos moving over to the red here for our second game tonight. Annie and then the Jarvan banned away from that Mingos jungler here as well. I think that's an excellent ban. Echo and Shaco taken off the table by Mingos so far. I believe those were the exact same 2 bans that they had in game number 1. Again, don't really need to change anything if you're winning. So Mingos sticking to what worked there. Cannot really fault them for that one, as we are waiting on that last ban to come through here from Globals, and I believe that to the side of Mingos will still be missing their third and final ban here, as they were late tonight. So that is the reason for that. Again, if you are joining us just now, Mingos was late to game 1, so they were forced to forfeit a ban, and I believe that is going to be coming through here. But the Shen taken off the table by Global. Very, very interesting here. So they did have the opportunity to first pick the Shen, which is exactly what Mingos did in game number 1 there, but they're opting instead to ban it away. So they must have something else in mind here for their first pick, and it is going to be the Lulu here. I did bring it up a little bit earlier. It's going to be the Lulu for... Oh, it's a takeaway, actually, I believe here. Because, again, so they're, instead of getting the Shen for their Shen player, they're opting to take away the Lulu from the Lulu player. Yeah, the Lulu player was Gabe, That's right, on the side of Mingos. He is the one who had the 70% win rate on the Lulu. So they're denying that pick from their opponents. And we are seeing the Amumu Trundle locked in now for the side of Mingos, most likely going to be jungler and support, although it is quite flexible in the current meta. We do not know which champion is going where, but likely between the two of them, they have the jungle and support positions covered pretty nicely. We are going to be moving into R2 and R3 for global here. See what they decide to respond with. As it looks like actually there was a third ban allotted to Mingos. So perhaps they only lost a ban for that first game there, and they are able to come back up to 3 bans here for the remainder of the series. Very, very nice. So they are going to be able to take the Tom Kench off the table here. They're going to be able to deny that from the side of global. It was a solid performance on that last game by Hub. Well, it was an okay performance, I guess. I mean, his KD certainly wasn't solid. He's able to hold his own in the lane, but we are seeing a couple of very interesting picks locked away here. The Olaf and the Set. So the Olaf does have some nice synergies there with the Lulu. The Lulu helps to sort of mitigate the Olaf's suboptimal scaling into the late game. And the Set, of course, an extremely powerful brawler as well, who can also benefit from those shields coming through from the Lulu. And, he's going to be pretty happy going up against these melee carries from Mingos. But look at this here. The Vayne is going to be locked away once again for Clark. He really, really dominated on the pick in our first game. Globals did not respect it. They just let him pick it up once again here. And, against Olaf's Set, I feel like Vayne is going to be pretty happy so far with going up against the composition that Globals currently have drafted for themselves. But let's see what they rounded out with. We're into the second phase of bans here, folks. See what the teams decide to take off the table. Irelia and Yuumi so far is very interesting. So it looks like Mingos actually think that Lulu is going to be going into a solo lane. So they do not think that the Illuminati Wolf actually plays the Lulu. So they're targeting his Yuumi instead here. Let's see if the Soraka follows it. If they just want to all in on this bet, the Lulu is not going support. It's going to be Irelia and Jax banned away by Globals. So again, they're actually targeting the top lane pool. I guess also following my assumption that the Trundle and the Amumu are jungle and support one way or the other. But that's a Morgana locked in here. The side of Mingos could indicate one of those champions going into top lane instead. As I wonder if I could, I'm going to wait for confirmation here, but there does appear to be a missed ban here in the second ban phase by Mingos. They appear to have not banned out anything with that 5th and final ban. But, we'll see if that's just a visual bug or not. But that looks like it is going to be the Victor here locked in for Global. So almost certainly going into the mid lane there in the hands of Lost and Echoes there on the Victor. And the Lucian locked in here as well. So it is going to be the Lucian Lulu bot lane. Yuumi ban a little bit wasted there by the side of Mingos. Lucian Lulu, I don't think is necessarily a very strong lane, although any lane with Lulu is probably going to be feeling pretty okay. I'm just now getting word, folks, that Ezreal was actually that last ban coming through from Mingos. That is not a missed ban. That is actually Ezreal that was removed. And let's see who what that Ezreal ban did for him here. That would have been it would have been Kiri on the Ezreal, and that Ezreal, yes, that is what he was on last game. It is his most played, so they did not want to see him on that Ezreal again. Despite the loss, They want to try and remove that option from the enemy AD carry. They pushed him onto the Lucian instead. Lucian is also a champion that Kiri has played a fair amount of, and actually his win rate is significantly higher on the Lucian. He's got 91 games played, 55% win rate compared to the only 47 on the Ezreal. So, maybe they should have just let him pick the Ezreal. I don't know. I don't have to play against it. Who am I to say? But, we'll see how it goes here up against the Lucian. Again, Mingos, they do just need one more win to take the match here tonight. And it is going to be the Draven here as the last pick for the side of Mingos. It's going to be... Wait, they last picked Draven? They already have Vayne. It must be Vayne top. Vayne must be going top. Morgana must be going mid. And then it's got to be either Mumu or Trundle support. Either one, I guess. But that is a very interesting lock-in for Mingos here. So it means it's going to be Vayne into the set. I actually really like this. The more that I think about it, the more that I like it. Vayne is one of the few champions that can actually avoid getting bullied by Set in the early game due to the fact that she's ranged. She's going to be able to heavily outscale him as well with true damage. So very, very interesting here. I am a little bit upset that we don't get to see Chandler on the Vayne again, but in terms of matchups, I actually do like this quite a bit. We'll see how it ends up playing out here. We should be getting into the in-client champ select relatively shortly. The Morgana is into the Victor there in the mid lane, is going to be providing some utility to the side of Mingos there on the red side. So we'll see how that does. See how that does end up working out for the side of the mid laner over there on Mingos, Mr. Swantek. But we are having some technical difficulties once again here, folks. We do apologize for those issues, but we will be resolving them as quickly as possible. In the meantime, we are going to be going once again to a short break. Please bear with us, and we'll be back with more BTL action in just a short while. are just about to get into game number 2 here. Once again, Mingos leading 1-0 in the best of 3 tonight. We did already complete the champion select with the third-party website. You do just need to go ahead and take the time to run through those picks in client here. Shouldn't take too terribly long.
On you.
We can continue to discuss compositions that have been drafted for game number 2 here. I do strongly suspect I am correct in my assertion that it is Vayne top here. I wonder if there are any stats on Vayne top here for the Mingos top laner. Lanier. He does have some Vayne stats. 20 games played. It's not a whole lot, but 70% win rate across those 20 games. So, Lanier clearly familiar with the champion here, and it is a good matchup for him. As I believe I did already mention into the set there. Going to be most likely the pick for Hub 5. Hub 5, again, he is the Shen player. He does not have any statistics that I can see on set. Of course, set does have the possibility of doing well into the matchup, but it does somewhat require the Vayne to misplay. It requires her to, be in range for the set to land that face breaker, which is really what is required for him to win those trades. So, assuming that Lanier plays it well, I do expect him to come out on top up there in top lane. In the jungle, Olaf versus Trundle. Once again here, we are going to be seeing a couple of powerhouses in the early game. I do believe that Suki was on the Trundle last game. No, he was on the Jarvan last game. I believe it was Snowy Peaks on the Trundle. And RareAdamCas is taking the Trundle away from him this time around. But it is going to be an interesting battle between these early game junglers. Once again, a lot will probably hinge on what lanes they decided to prioritize in the first few minutes of the game here. Victor Morgana, it's really a question of the Victor will absolutely categorically outscale the Morgana, probably by 15 to 20 minutes, but the Morgana will be able to offer that utility, the utility of the root from her Q and the CC immunity from the Black Shield there on the E. That will always be, there will always be outplay potential there with those abilities for Swantek. And, all he really needs to do is to lock up one of these priority targets or protect one of his own priority targets in these fights in order to be effective. So I expect Morgana to, still be playing a significant role in this game here, even if she does get outskilled a little bit in terms of raw DPS. But the bot lane is going to be interesting here. Trundle in the jungle means it is going to be a Mumu in the support position for Gabe Kochski here. And it's going to be Lucian Lulu versus Draven Amumu. We got a little bit of rhyming there, actually, with the ooh, the Lu and the Moo going up against each other in the support role there. Sorry, by the way. But it should definitely be an interesting one. We did, of course, recently have a little bit of a mini rework on Draven. He does have the execute now on his R. If his adoration stacks are equal to or greater than the health points of the target he hits with R, they will be executed. He will get the kill, and of course the extra money comes along with it from that passive. So we'll see if Clark is able to have, once again here, a dominant performance in game number 2, and will be able potentially to help carry his team to a clean 2-0 victory in the match here tonight in week 3 of Black Twitch League. We are finished with the in-client champ select here, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be going once again to a very short break as we load onto the Rift here for game 2 between Glacial Mingos, Glacial Global. Stay tuned. match of the night. Global on blue, Mingos on red. Mingos now are the ones looking for the early play. Global, they're still stacked up. They're playing a little bit more defensively this time around. We're continuing the invade here on the side of Mingos. They're trying to finish this one off as early as possible. They might face check the wrong bush here. I am getting some audio here that may be a little bit premature. We are seeing a fight breaking out now. Snowy Peak's in a lot of trouble. First blood going over to the Bane here. Lanier able to pick it up this time. 2 kills now going over to the side of Mingos. It's absolute slaughter down here in the bot side jungle. And as a Dark Binding landing, Lucian now is in a lot of trouble as well. He is going to be going down. It's going to be 4 kills here at 1 minute and 15 seconds for the Mingos. And they are running away with this one less than 90 seconds into the game. Yes, my audio was out of sync. I think my audio is better now. Yes. Maybe slightly off still. Yeah, it's a little off still actually. Okay, I am going to be continuing to cast here as best as I can here, guys. Again, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties on my end here. We are seeing the bot lane here return Chandler, and Gabe did go back to base there to spend their well-earned gold that they got from that excellent level 1 play that came out from the side of the Mingos. Or the Migos. They may be actually, in fact, the Migos. I may have been calling Mingos for nothing this whole time. That is a distinct possibility. If that is the case, then I deeply apologize. As Kochski helping his AD carry to CS underneath the turret there. We see up here in top lane, we did expect Vayne to be coming out here on top in this matchup. We'll see if Lanier is able to pull that off. He is a little bit down on HP right now, but he got 3 of those kills from that level 1 straight onto the Vayne. So he is, you know, really feeling pretty comfortable as he is tumbling away now. Does eat the Haymaker, but able to get a lot of return damage out here. And here comes the Troll King. Suki is around. He's throwing up the pillar and getting that assist. But really, it's Lanier doing the work. And now it looks like my visuals may be catching up to the audio here as Kochski is walking forward, lands the bandage toss. Dong D may be in some trouble now, dashing away though. But the second charge of the bandage toss, Clark able to get a lot of damage out there onto the Lucian. The Mumu work really coming in clutch there for Gabe. That's a binding onto the Victor. Lost in echoes. Okay, I am not getting any visuals right now. Oh, Lanier dashing away, staying alive, barely. Just trying to get that wave in right now so that that Vayne can reset. Alrighty, just bear with me. I might be back. Alrighty. Yeah, I can once again see the game here. It looks like my audio and visual disconnect has been resolved. So 0-5 right now is the scoreboard in favor of Mingos. They're very comfortably in the lead here, 5 minutes in. Snowy Peaks is running down here, looking for a kill onto Clark. Clark in some trouble, going down. Snowy Peaks able to pick up the first kill of the game here for Global. Kochski now in some trouble. He's underneath his tower, going back in, actually. That was an ill-fated bandage toss. Forces the flash out, but Suki makes it worthwhile. Flash forward for the top. Gets the return kill onto the enemy marksman. 1 for 1 in the bottom lane. Swantek also roaming down here, making this a 4v3 play. Waiting the extra resources were Mingos, but Morgana had the push in mid lane. She's not going to lose a whole lot for this play. Wow, as we pan over here towards top side, Lanier, he's sticking around, and he's actually gotten that top laner for global pretty low here as well. So Set trying to pick up this wave underneath the tower. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to get condemned. He did just tick over to level 6, so he will now have the ultimate available. If he can get in range onto the Vayne, he has significant kill threat now, and Vayne is going to respect that. Lanier, or Lanier, could be Lanier. Again, I'm not sure what the pronunciation is on that. So I do apologize if I'm getting it wrong, but he is just going to go back to base and regain some HP, do a little bit of shopping for himself. So 4-0 now on the Vayne. He is doing very, very well here in this one so far. Doesn't really matter where the crossbow goes, apparently, on the side of Mingos. All these players can pop off with it. Snowy Peaks down here on the Olaf, just wanting to pick up his next red buff. A very nice ward from Swantek, able to spot him out here. Lands the binding as well. A lot of damage down onto Snowy Peaks here. And Clark, he's hungry for red buff. Red buff's on the menu tonight, and maybe so is Olaf. Snowy Peaks now finding himself in some trouble, trying to smite early. Able to pick up the XP from the red buff there, but he just ends up going down, gets an axe right to the face there from Clark. First kill of the game, the Mingos AD carry. I'm just going to say Mingos. I feel like it's Mingos. It says Mingos right now, but Alright, maybe it's... Okay, I'm just getting word that the logo is a flamingo, so maybe we will stick with Mingos. Either way, you know, great team name. I hope it's Mingos. So otherwise, I've been saying it wrong this whole time. But either way, they are doing quite well right now in this game and in this match, as they are up 7-1 now in kills, closing in on 3k gold lead. Lanier tumbling forward, getting pulled in though with the facebreaker. Gonna eat some damage from the Haymaker here as well. Showstopper available. Will Para decide to go for it? Here it is, looking for the kill. One more auto attack shutdown for the global top laner. Meanwhile, in bot lane, 2v2 breaking out. Doug D needs into trouble. One more axe, but no! The bullets from the Lucian able to get the kill, but it's traded back. Both AD carries killing each other. Must have been a minion auto attack that actually ended up finishing off Dong D on the Lucian there. Very close call down there on bot side. Ends up being a 1-for-1. Really, the big story is Para getting that massive shutdown up here on top side. As we are seeing Adam Suki just opting into a 1v2 and he's winning it. Gets the first kill onto Snowy Peaks and he's looking for more. He's down to level and he doesn't care at all here. One more chomp, the last bullet from the crossbow. Lanier comes back in time to pick up the kill. 5-1 now on the Vayne, and Suki just outplaying that 1v2 splendidly here on the Trundle. Oh, nice max range bandage toss coming out from Gabe there, continuing to put the pressure down onto Doug down here in the bottom lane. Arc pushing in the minion wave. We're not going to have another dragon alive for about 3 minutes here. It was the side of Mingos that was able to pick up that first one. So we're going to be looking most likely to continue stacking those as we progress farther into the game here. Rift Herald once again is alive as we are past that 8-minute mark. Nobody making a move towards the big purple crab just yet. As a very nice emote game from Kochski coming out there. You sat a Mumu while playing a Mumu. Absolutely wonderfully done. As Lanier, he's running out of HP here as we pan up to top side. He's already dead. The Swantek teleporting in though. Now we got a 2v2 up here on top side. Ragnarok is going to wear off shortly here. Oh, the flash! Suki wanted to finish the kill. Olaf was missing those resistance. Set going down up here on the top side of the fight as well. Lost an Echo, trying to escape, flashing away. Is able to stay alive, but burning both summoners there on the Glacial Global mid laner just to watch his teammates die. Trying to defend his top side. Now narrowly dodges out on that Dark Binding. almost another kill for Nick here. Boston Echoes will be fine for now. He's going to be able to pick up most of this minion wave underneath the tower. Suzuki will now be turning his attention towards the Rift Herald. It was, I believe, Snowy Peaks who did get the Rift Herald. Oh, 2v2 in the bot side. Zombie Angle running out of HP, but the counterattack from the Lucian is extremely strong. The Lulu ultimate is so strong, flashing forward. Doug D looking for a little bit more damage. He will be able to find the kill onto Gabe. Draven able to get out underneath his tier 1 there. Forced to commit the flash, though, was Clark. Now maybe the shoe on the other foot down here in the bot lane. Doug, Dong D, and Zombie Angie fighting back as Para in the mid lane here. We had a little bit of a lane swap situation as Echoes was forced to teleport up towards that top side there, but Set not able to effectively defend here in mid lane, and that is going to be at least 4 plates going down in mid lane for Mingos, and they're getting multiple plates in top side as well, straight onto Lonnie. They're able to get this full turret here, actually. First turret going over to Mingos. They're able to massively extend this gold lead right now, up to almost 5,000 here, 12 minutes in. That is very significant, as that is a very nice bandage toss from Kochski, forcing the Ragnarok out of Snowy Peaks for almost nothing. It seems like Mingos, they're in full control once again here. So you move into game 2. It will not be stopped. A nice condemn from Lanier tumbling away, not even taking a single point of damage from the Haymaker there. Now Farah, he's out of cooldowns. He's running out of HP. He's gonna be going back to base. Maybe losing his entire tower here to the Vayne. Oh, geez. It's this bot lane is the last hope left for Glacial Global. Victor is doing okay in mid lane, but he lost his entire tower due to some superior macro coming out from the side of Mingos here in this one. He's gonna have a really hard time applying pressure on that portion of the map with so little defenses to fall back on. No defenses to fall back on, I should say. So it's up to this Lucian and this Lulu. Snowy Peaks, he's hovering in the area as well, but Suki knows exactly what the win conditions are for Global, and he's denying them before they can even get started. Lucian was trying to set this one up for the Olaf gank, but he's just setting himself up for death. Chandler Clark not able to quite finish the kill there. Whirling Death already has come out. So it will be the recalls coming through here for Dong D and Zombie Angie, but that was the last lane that had a chance of winning here for Glacial Global. And they just lost that chance. They're losing all 3 lanes. They're already down almost 5,000 golds. That's that top lane, tier 1 going down. All 5 turret plates going straight into that Vayne's back pocket. Maybe Dragon number 2 as well. This game is quickly getting completely out of control for the side of Glacial Global. They are running out of options very, very fast here. That bot lane tier 1 is still standing, so Lucian and Lulu are able to keep laning at least for a little while longer. But it's 13 plate early game here for Mingos. They are dominating right now, and Para, you're on the wrong side of the map, my friend. Here's the final hour, and there's Lanier tumbling in for the last hit. He's ice cold, and Mingo or Global. They're set up for extinction right now. Mingo is trying to run away with this one. Putting Global in the icebox right now. Putting him in the freezer. As Olaf popping the Ragnarok, not going to save him. Swantek picks up another one. His third of the game, 3-0 for the Mingos mid laner. As now it's Echoes just getting picked off in his own jungle. It's just insult to injury at this point. Mingos is styling on the opposition.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
That is a turret going down. First turret of the game, picked up by Global. A little bit of life here for the Glacial Global squad. They're trying to fight back here as best they can. Look at this collapse coming through. Nick Swantek, Gabe Kochski, they're coming down here. Clark is ready to go. He's got those axes spinning. Dong D and Zombie Angie, they sniff it out though. There wasn't vision until this last bush in the river, but nonetheless, they are able to see that play coming. They're able to back off with plenty of time. complete that recall. They will likely be giving up this tier 1 tower by recalling and opting not to defend, but they did not want to take the risk of getting dove and given over a couple of kills for free. So it will be just the tower for Clark and Kochski down here, and they will be content with that. And they will have to contend with the teleport coming down here. That is Bara wanting to get something going. It has the showstopper straight onto the Amumu. Here comes the Haymaker. Gets a little bit of damage down onto Clark. He just gets picked off. He extended a little bit too far forward with that teleport. But now Swantek. Oh, he's got the Soul Shackle Zonia's combo. That's Kochki going in. But he does end up getting picked up. One more axe is all he needs. But it's the Olaf. Is it going to end up going down there? Swantek, I think, able to pick up the kill with the Spooky Dirt. That's Victor locked up now with the Dark Binding. Whirling Death able to get some more damage down, but Suki is running out of HP. He's walking back in, trying to get a chomp, can't find it. Echo flashing away now, trying to stay alive. Clark, he's shut down. There's a shutdown going over to Dong D. 3 kills down with the Lucian. Swantek now on the run. He's trying to escape from this 3-man squad of Global. He lands the binding onto Zombie Angie. Almost has enough damage to take out that Lulu, but the shield is good. And now Swantek in some trouble trying to flash away, staying alive. Another binding to save himself, but forced to burn that summoner spell is the mid laner for Mingos. Definitely strong counterattack here for Glacial Global. They're not done just yet, ladies and gentlemen. Lanier does eat the damage from that Haymaker. Flashing forward, Para gets the face breaker. Lanier is trying to flash away, doesn't get the kill. Onto the set, he's trying to get for the 1v2. He goes invisible. One more auto attack. Lanier with the 1v2 out playing top side. It's the main going off here once again. 2 games in a row for Mingo. This is when I let my color caster talk for a while, but just me, guys. Give me a second. I'll be back in a second. All right, Austin Echo's on the chase. Anye, he's still alive. 8-2 now on the Vayne. He is having quite the game for himself. Vayne really is the champion of the day, it appears. We're having the mid lane tier 2 defense here, but we look at these tier 2 towers for Global. They're already taking significant damage. 50% HP on mid and top lane tier 2. And the split pushing threat from the Vayne is only going to become more and more severe, more and more unanswerable for the side of Global. Finding over the wall, and it connects onto the red buff. Does end up getting secured by the Morgana. As that is the stand aside. Dragon Rock finally popped. Now Clark ends up going down. Did not respect the power of the Olaf. That's a couple of kills going over to the side of Global. And now these last 2 members of Mingos, they're caught between a rock and a hard place. And they're going to be going down 4-1 in the bot side jungle here in favor of Global. They answer very strongly here. They're able to prevent the soul point from coming through for Mingos as well. Side of Glacial, Mingos overextending a little bit in the enemy bot side jungle. Ends up costing them pretty big here. Looks like Global might be back in it. They still have to contend with this extremely strong solo lane Vayne. Stopping that Inferno Soul from stacking is extremely important. They're going to be trying to fight back here. They have some decent scaling of their own with the Victor there, as well as the Lulu. Still have a chance to win this and push us to game 3. Just have to see how the rest of it plays out. Rift Herald was just secured by Lanier solo up there on the top side river while his opponents were taking that 3rd dragon. We will have that available for those split push efforts, but he's got to be careful here. We've got a potential collapse coming through. Only the Lucian and the Lulu in the area, and Kochski, he's also hovering around. Helicopter Amumu. He's worried about his little Vayne staying safe there. Oh, Lanier. He's gonna get a little bit surprised here. He's gonna find a Lucian and a Lulu in the bush, but he's just so strong on the Vayne. He's just got way too much DPS. I think he had 4 levels on the Lucian there. So, Dong D and Zombie Angie, I think, just fighting off a little bit more than they could chew this time around. And 2 members down for Global means it is Baron now on the menu for Mingos. Purple Worm down to 2k HP. It's gone. Baron Nasher once again 2 games in a row secured by Mingos at 20 minutes. dominant performance tonight over Glacial's Global. As Lanier is in some trouble, is going to get shut down. Read it a little bit for the second charge out of the Rift Tail, but let's see what his team can do. Snowy Peaks does not have his Lucian Lulu able to support him in time. Lost in Echoes does have the Lulu ultimate. The Lulu ultimate to help keep him alive there. Wild Growth, that is the name of the ability. And a side of Global will prevent that siege from coming through onto their top lane tier 3 for now. But it's still going to be Baron buff on 4. I still expect Mingos to get a lot done with this buff. Let's see what kind of play comes out here for the side of Mingos. Again, only their top laner is the one missing Baron. It is quite unfortunate, as the Vayne is likely the champion that you want in the side lane. Not having that Baron buff on that teammate will hurt a little bit in terms of their macro options, but it looks like, nevertheless, Lanier will be sent off on his own down towards the bot side there. Everybody else is going to be hovering around mid lane. Clark already set up shop, and his Morgana and a Mumu nearby to help protect that Draven. It is 2 items completed right now for Clark on the Draven. Shield Bow plus LDR. He's going to be doing quite a lot of damage, especially to the Set and the Olaf with that armor penetration itemization there. Clark. It is Kraken Slayer for the... Oh, Echo is in some trouble here. Flashing forward, Lanier. He's just too strong. The Vayne gets another one. Another victim down here. Dong D is going to rotate down to try and defend this turret, but now Global, their man down on Rift. They're losing on all fronts. Set is going in. Pyra is trying to find it. He is able to get the Vayne. They picked off the Vayne. Now Swantic flashing in with the Soul Shack, was trying to get the damage down. But where's the team? The Showstopper comes back in. Dunk Swantic. Pyra able to get another one. But that is going to be the Morgana going down. It is a couple of kills going over to Global, but still a team fight win for Mingos. So 3v2 now on the map. Mid lane tier 3 is the target. They're going to be able to pick up this inhibitor, no problem. There's no answer, no fights. The Lucian can put up on his own right now. There's nothing he can do. He's just forced to watch as that mid lane inhib goes down. And likely the play for Mingos now will be to fall back, take that third dragon, put themselves on Infernal Soul Point, take things from there. See what other items we do have coming through here. Vayne is at 3.5, almost has Bloodthirster. If we could just get a quick look at the gold observers, if we could press X and take a look at the gold there. It is, yeah, 13, almost 14. Oh, we got a fight breaking out here. Suki in some trouble right now. That is going to be the Vayne going down once again here. Picked off again in the bot side river right before this dragon. That is going to be side of Global tying up this drag count 2-2 here in the mid game. They're coming back very strong even after losing that inhibitor. They still win a fight. Oh, that's Kochki going in. Amumu, you are a 3v4 right now, but you are getting a lot of damage down on the set. Pyra going for the Showstopper, but it's not going to save him. There's the cash in for Clark once again here. Able to make it 2-2 overall in the fight, but still 2-2 in Dragons. That's critical. The side of Global, they're going to have more flexibility going forward here. They still have a little bit of breathing room before that Inferno Soul does come through. Snowy Peaks trying to fight for his Krugs right now. Does not have the Ragnarok ready to go right now. I don't know what he's doing there without the Ragnarok. He's getting CC'd right now. He's getting taken out. An axe to the face means Clark gets his 7th. And Echo teleporting in down here just to watch his jungler die for no reason, and he's burning the summoner spell on top of it. He's getting locked up by Dark Binding. Echo, no! He's going down. It is going to be the Amumu sacrificing himself. Oh, and Dong D turn it around. No, the Dark Binding. The Wild Growth. Is that enough? No, it's not. Clark gets another kill. And now Zombie Andrew's in trouble. He's forced to run away. Lulu all on her own. The rest of her team is dead. that is actually alive. He is rotating down. He's going to try and defend this turret, but Angie has to go back to base, has to regain some HP. It's going to be another inhibitor tower going down for the Mingos. They're going to have a 2 inhibitor game on their hands here. Vayne already setting up shop in the top lane to try and take out that third and final outer structure for Global. They're going to have only the Nexus turrets remaining. If Lanier is successful here, and he will be. No defense coming through. Lucian respawning now. But I don't know if it's going to be enough here. That's Tara looking forward, forced to flash away now, though. That's the Ragnarok coming in. The wild growth, but he just gets deleted, so he thinks he's already gone. And so is Echoes. Vayne is going off with 2. Vayne is looking for more. Does get polymorph. Nice polymorph for Angie. That's a shutdown onto the Vayne, but Dong D. Oh, he has the damage. He gets 2. Dong D, no mana left with the Morgana, but the pillar interrupts the culling. It is not going to be enough, though. Dong D able to get 3, a triple kill for the Global Marksman. Able to pull off a miracle base defense right now. Mingos are not going to be able to end just yet, but they've secured the triple inhibitor. They're in full control of this one still. What? Oh, Dong D gets another one. I don't know. I don't know what Katsuki was thinking there. But, I don't know. He was a sad mummy. You know, he wanted to join his friends in the death chamber because he was lonely. I guess that's the best I've got. That's all I've got for you guys. Sorry. But yeah, Dong D. Absolutely. Props to Dong D. Really going off right there in the base defense. I thought it was over for sure, but he pulled a teamfight win out of his ass right there. He did it somehow. And, you know, he's continuing to farm up down here. He's actually ahead of Chandler. He's ahead of Clark right now in CS, but still, I do not know if it is going to be enough here. It is 3 items completed now for the Draven, and he is also going to be closing in on the Bloodthirster. Vayne actually even has the QSS now, has that nice little luxury option on top of her 4 completed items, level 16 for Lanier. He is just absurdly strong right now in this game. And Baron is just going to get completely shredded. It just never stood a chance. And it just got absolutely evaporated as soon as it spawned onto the Rift. And that is 3 inhibitors down already for Mingos, plus a Baron buff on top. They should just be able to walk it in, close this one out nice and cleanly. I do believe they are going to have Dragon spawning. That's a flash in. Katsuki gets the Curse to set on me onto 3. That's the gold. The Victor going gold, trying to stay alive. Snowy Peaks going in, trying to buy time for his team. That's not going to matter. It's 3 dead already. Glacial Global, they put up a good fight in the end. Dong D is still alive. Let's not call it before it's over. And Dong D could create another miracle here. He's able to get 1. Trying to dash forward, he's trying to get 2, but he's not going to be able to find it. He gets shut down by Clark right at the end there, as the Nexus does explode. 2-0 Mingos on the night. You're able to come away with a relatively decisive match win over the Glacial competition. Take a look at the post-game screen here, guys. Take a look at those damage charts if possible. I have to believe we are not going to be able to take a look at those damage charts, unfortunately, but I have to believe that Lanier on the Vayne was topping those, although perhaps Clark on the Draven did get him a run for it.